Hello and welcome to Designer Discussions with Jason, Miriam, and Maria. Today we are talking about Get Quick Press, PR that actually works for design and remodeling professionals.
Welcome to the Designer Discussions podcast with
Jason,
Miriam,
and Maria, where we talk about marketing, PR, and business advice for design professionals.
Thanks, Jason. Yeah, this is really one of my favorite topics because I do think it is the most relevant one that we talk about on this podcast for our audience of design and remodeling pros. I want to start out by talking about why PR matters, right? Because people always like the idea of PR, but a lot of people don't really know what it is. Like most people don't know how to go about it. So I just want to talk about that briefly. What a lot of people are aware of that it is very expensive to hire a PR agency. And that is the truth. It can easily run between $5,000 and $15,000 per month to have an agency on retainer. And obviously, that is not realistic for most small or mid-sized firms in any industry, really. But it is also true that a PR feature and certainly numerous PR features really give you a boost of credibility. And I always talk about third-party credibility, about somebody else in the media that is showing off your expertise or your project. It adds an instant boost of credibility that really can help you attract those higher end clients that you probably want. Press coverage builds trust and premium positioning. There's no way around it. And especially today in the era of AI and how that impacts how people search and find you. People always think maybe they're not qualified to get the PR, but it is also true that journalists, they don't just want projects because that's like the next step in PR that we cover in a different episode. And I teach about both of these topics in our Designer Discussions Academy too, and those are separate, completely separate trainings. But they don't just want projects. There's also a place for you to contribute expertise to topics that are really well within your wheelhouse. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I call this the get quick press method, and it's really super easy. And Jason has heard me talk about this for, I don't know, many years. And I wish Maria was here today because this is actually how she got her start in PR when she joined a PR only membership that I had years ago. And she was one of my founding members and she really hit it out of the ballpark. And if you look her up today, I mean, she has been published just about anywhere, like including Forbes and AD and different trade pubs. It really has, if I may say that on her behalf, it really has paid off for her. Like her credibility now is through the roof. So that's one thing you want to start with is really you want to position yourself as the expert. And it's not just positioning. You are an expert. If you are a design or remodeling professional, you run a design remodeling company, you are a professional in the industry. And there's so much opportunity for this industry in the media because there's always articles about kitchen and bath, interior design, color choices, trends, materials, tips on how to upgrade your space. There's limitless content that is being written about, especially about interior design and remodeling, construction, maintenance, even cleaning. There's tons and tons of opportunity. So you already are an expert, and you just have to let that sink in, and you have to truly believe it, and then that like inherently qualifies you to be a source for a journalist who writes an article. And the way I teach this is really focusing on simplicity. We work with mostly 3 different free platforms. The way we use them is free. Some of them have paid options, but we focus on the free versions. We work with Qwoted, HARO, and SOS. And it's gotten a little bit more complicated in the world of PR because all the opportunities that used to be relevant for us used to be on HARO, which stands for Help a Reporter Out. And we can put links in the show notes as well. But everything used to be on HARO, and then there was a lot of tumultuous developments in the world of PR, and HARO got bought out by a big company and everything changed. And so it's not quite the way it used to be. So we have to be a little bit more resourceful in how we track down the opportunities that we work with, but they're still out there. It just takes a little bit more work to find them. And obviously I can tell you exactly how to do that. And we focus on those 3 platforms. Like I said, Qwoted, HARO, and SOS. And the other challenge that people have, everybody is strapped for time. And this is the biggest challenge that I see people having when it gets to actually executing PR and getting some of these placements. But in reality, you can do this with very little time. If you have good direction and you know how to do it, you can spend 20, 30 minutes a couple times a week maximum, and you can do this 100%. And I've seen it happen over and over and over again. For instance, we had a member in our first year of our academy program, and they were pretty terrified to do this, and they thought it was a great idea. They just couldn't get themselves to do it. I understand it. You have to grow into the mindset that this is doable for you. And they ended up joining for another year of the academy. And then they started implementing these quick press tactics. And within, I can't remember if it was the first or the second month, they landed a placement in Forbes. First month? Yes. I mean, it was incredible. And they were blown away. They're like, oh my God, this actually really works. I remember another member that got a placement in the Wall Street Journal. That was also in the first month, which both of these, I'm not saying this is the norm. Okay. I'm not saying you're going to start doing this and you're going to land like a top tier placement like that, but you might start out smaller. What I will guarantee is that if you do the work, you will end up with your first piece of media coverage in the first 2 months. It would really have to be, I don't know, like somebody would have to put a spell on you or something for that not to happen if you actually put in the work. So you can definitely do this. That is my main message for you. And every pitch, once you get started, every pitch gets easier. It's like a muscle that you grow. And it gets easier and easier and easier, which means that you're going to be continuing to accumulate coverage, and it'll get easier for you because you're going to know how to do it. It's going to feel familiar. And you're also going to have the credentials. Like if people look you up and say, oh, is this a legit company? It's like, are they serious about doing PR? If they go on your website or on your socials and they see that you already have some publicity in the past, they're going to be much more likely to take you seriously and want to include you in their article too. So it's cumulative, right? It's like the first 1, 2, 3 are harder, but then it gets easier and easier after that. And the big perk for a design and remodeling business really is the reason why we do this is because of it helps with SEO, and you get to put those logos on your website. You can say as featured in, and there's going to be Better Homes and Gardens and Forbes and KBB and whatever other placements you can land. But that is achievable for everybody who's listening to this call. 100%. So why does this work, right? And I talked a little bit about this. It's because this people, design experts are ideal media sources. It's like, because you understand budgets, timelines, trends. So you really are, you're sought after by the media. They want your expertise. And it's not like they're doing you a favor. This is a mutually beneficial relationship where they need information and background, and you have this. I actually just sent out, I had an editor friend who sent me a media request. And it was about kitchen cabinets. And I sent it out to some of the contacts that we have and to some of the people that are considering joining our academy program. And I got some responses back, and a number of people, however, did not respond to me. And this is as easy as it gets. It's like if it comes right into your inbox and then somebody says, please answer these questions. And if you then don't respond to that, that means you're not really serious. So, and I always say it's like everybody wants to get the PR, but in my experience, most people are not willing to do the work. And the reason I'm being so open about this and I'm saying this is because I don't want you to be one of those people. Because it truly is doable, but it only works if you take action. If it's just wishful thinking, it's not going to happen. And my recommendation for anybody listening is that, and if you want to do this, okay, don't go in crazy and say, oh God, this whole next year, I'm going to be focusing on PR and I'm going to do it every day of the week for the whole year. That's most likely not going to work. So what I recommend is that you maybe dedicate 2 to 3 months, and you could even start with one. Let's say between 1 and 3 months that you are going to proactively work on PR. You learn how to do this by either joining us in the academy or listening to podcasts where I've talked about this in the past. And you put it on your calendar, you dedicate time, and you actually do it. And if you do it for 3 months, my best guess would be that you are going to end up with around 4 to 6 placements, at least, maybe even more, depending on how many queries you submit. I always say like a good measure is that if you submit 10 responses to 10 different requests, you're gonna probably end up with 1 to 2 placements. So don't think if you've submitted 5 and you haven't gotten any coverage, it's like, oh my God, this is not working. It is a numbers game. It is a numbers game. So you need to be consistent with it at least over a period of time. And honestly, what if you did this for 2 or 3 months every year and you get a bunch of new media placements and you have some content for your social media, for your e-newsletter, to put on your website? That's as simple as it is. That's all it really takes. And I really, really wish more people knew this, which is why we're doing this podcast and which was why we're teaching this to people, because that is the most important piece of PR for your business right now. So my plea to you is, don't listen to this and think, well, I should do that sometime. It's like, because we're already towards the end of the year. So make a plan, say, I'm going to commit to getting this media coverage that's really so simple to get. And we're either going to welcome you into the academy and I can help you. I can walk side by side with you, with the other members, and make sure you have accountability to actually get it done, which is a big piece of it. Or if you're self-motivated and have self-discipline, just go do it yourself. So either way, I want for you to get the PR that you deserve. I'd love to hear how it goes. So please, always feel free to send us feedback, email us, contact us on social media. So good luck to you. Let me know if we can be of any help. I hope you join us in the Designer Discussions Academy, and we'll see you back here in 2 weeks.
Did you know that your client learns 80% of what they will know about you before they ever contact you? Now imagine when your potential client searches for the perfect kitchen remodel. Will they find you or your competition? We can help you make sure it's you. Our Designer Discussions Academy membership with your favorite podcast hosts provide weekly steps to simplify your marketing and boost your business. Sign up at designerdiscussions.com or follow the link in the show notes. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Designer Discussions and all of the helpful information. Subscribe to our podcast, leave us a review, and share it with your friends. We look forward to having you back next week. For more information on the podcast and the marketing studio, visit designerdiscussions.com and follow us on social media.